Hello, everyone. I'm the integrations consultant here at DueDil. So kicking things off, the DueDil API allows companies to form part of the DueDil data ecosystem. It enables them to access our company data programmatically, allowing them to automate many of their internal processes. There are a number of ways our clients use the DueDil API. 4 of the main use cases are automated compliance onboarding, customer and supplier onboarding, auto-population of online sign-up forms, and integration with their CRM systems. Okay, I'm going to take you through those use cases by using client case studies to illustrate how the API can be used. So, KYC and AML checks for customer onboarding. The DueDil API allows you to do KYC checks on both businesses and individuals, and global PEPs and sanctions checks on businesses and individuals, along with complete checks on company officers, their other directorships, group structures, and beneficial owners. This allows you to build up an in-depth company profile, its directors, corporate group structures, and all its linkages to other companies. So the first customer case study, excuse me, at Payment Sense, which is a fast-growing merchant card payment provider, we worked with the CTO who was looking to decrease the time and manual work needed to onboard and approve new customers. Payment Sense's onboarding process relied heavily on paper-based manual intervention. Sales had to manually input basic company information, and the compliance team had to manually check and verify each customer. This caused a lengthy sales cycle. They implemented DueDil's API into their customer onboarding process, which enabled them to automate verification of company ownership, corporate group structures, and to perform KYC verification. That now means that the onboarding process that was previously taking up to 2 weeks now takes about 5 hours. Using the DueDil API for credit decisioning when onboarding new clients streamlines the process, giving businesses the ability to assess the risk of bringing on new customers. The head of change at a major high street commercial bank was looking to automate the onboarding and credit decisioning process for small business loans. The bank was taking up to 2 weeks to onboard new customers, causing a high drop-off rate. The bank's relationship managers were spending almost half the time doing manual onboarding, paper-based tasks, taking them away from their core jobs. They integrated DueDil's API into their online application process to help complete loan approvals that takes the customer from initial online application sign up all the way through to approval, using data points like company profiles, ownership, group structures, PEPs and sanctions, KYC on individuals, and KYC for businesses. Because of the onboarding automation driven by the DueDil API, early signs show an 85% reduction in time to make a decision. Moving on to the next use case, onboarding suppliers always involves understanding credit risk associated with those suppliers. The DueDil API allows you to not only assess credit risk of the new suppliers, but monitor the credit risk of existing suppliers, given things can change so quickly. The head of procurement at the construction company Lend-Lease was looking to onboard and credit check suppliers. They have about 40 projects worth millions running at any one time. So if a supplier defaulted on payment, that could cause a major disruption to their business and to their reputation. Integrating DueDil's API for company data and credit risk reports, Lend-Lease use an internal real-time supply management tool, which allows them to onboard suppliers much quicker. It also gives them the ability to track and respond to changes in existing suppliers' risk profiles and enables them to make accurate, informed procurement decisions at any point in time. Now, any business that has online sign-up forms will know that customers want to fill in as few fields as possible, or they can give up and drop off. Businesses also know that relying on people to enter data in fields can be prone to inaccurate data being entered. Using the DueDil API to auto-populate fields not only speeds up the sign-on process, but gives the customer a nicer onboarding experience. It reduces drop-off rates and ensures that the data being entered is accurate. The use case here is Smart Pension, an auto-enrollment pension provider. Their goal was to capture much of the newly emerged market before their competitors did. They wanted to have a competitive edge and be able to onboard a new company from start to finish in minutes, not hours, days, or weeks. Their original process for registering company pension schemes was long and involved the applicant company manually entering most of the data. Smart Pension integrated the DueDil API into their digital onboarding process, auto-populating data on initial sign-up forms with company and director information. This gives the customer a seamless, more smooth onboarding experience, reduces the customer frustration with form filling, and so it reduces the onboarding drop-off rate. It also ensures the data is accurate. The sign-up process was decreased from about 2 weeks to 90 seconds. Okay, last use case is CRM integration. Most sales companies have some sort of CRM system. Most of those companies have problems with the data in their CRM system. Integrating your CRM with the DueDil API enables you to remove duplicates, cleanse the data, append and enrich the existing data, and keep the data up to date. Without accurate client data held in the CRM, it becomes very difficult to segment and target the right companies and can lead to poor sales forecasting. Softcat is an IT infrastructure provider. We worked with the sales operations director there, whose goal was to ensure their internal CRM system is populated with accurate and up-to-date data. He had account managers and sales reps telling him they don't have enough leads and prospects in their territory to make up their target. He was also unable to understand what their customer and prospect base looked like in order to forecast correctly. Softcat integrated the DueDil API to enrich their CRM with information such as turnover, industry, company growth statistics, and corporate group structures. It allowed them to create and segment accurate territories for their sales team, and it enabled the sales ops director to accurately forecast sales and forecast the required headcount growth. Okay, before moving on to the technical side of things, to lay down some context, it's worth knowing DueDil's vision is to be the fuel of a more informed and connected economy. As such, we provide free API trial keys, allowing developers to generate their own free key on the new DueDil API portal without the need to speak to anyone at DueDil. The free key provides you with access to 1,000 API requests, which is plenty to test a hypothesis or develop a prototype application. I'm now going to hand you over to our CTO, Leo, who's going to demonstrate using the new API portal and using the free key to call our API in real time.
Great, thanks, Gary. Over to you now, Leo.
Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. So as Gary said, I'm going to give you a run through the DueDil API portal and how to generate free trial keys and get started with the DueDil API. So to start off with, if you don't have yet a DueDil account, you can go to duedil.com/register/API and register for one, and yes, to verify your email. I've done that already, so I'm going to take you through the API portal itself. So when you log in, you will see this button to generate an API key. So I'm going to click on that, and it's generating a trial key associated with my account at the moment. Excellent. So here's what I got the first time. There's my free API key. The key is hidden over here, and there's on the right-hand side you see an example curl request to get you started to make your first API call. So I'm gonna make my first call in a terminal. And there you go. You can see that I'm retrieving the vitals information for this company. This is my API key access token, and I get a JSON response back. If I go back to the portal and refresh, you will see that I consumed my first API request. You see that I have 999 remaining, and you can also plot that going to crack over time. Great. So in order to find out more what you can do with the API, with the DueDil API, the best place to go is the API documentation, which covers every single endpoint and packages and the expected inputs, example requests, and example responses. So for instance, if I scroll down here, you'll see search endpoint and every other endpoint split into packages. So for example, the company vitals that I just showed, you can see the expected parameters in here, all documented, and the response schema. You can drill down in every single field and inspect the expected response. On the right-hand side, you also see both the example endpoints requests and sample responses. In this case, the same response that I just showed you in the terminal. Great. So you can also search the API documentation. So for example, if I want to find companies, I can jump into the endpoint that allows me to search for companies. You can do that for any data field that you're interested in fetching from the DueDil API to figure out which endpoint supports it. You can see from this find companies endpoint that it expects a post request. So I'm gonna show you how to do that through the API right now. I'm gonna use an API, REST API client called Postman. That is a bit more convenient than showing you on the command line alone. So first of all, I'm gonna send a post request to this endpoint to do I/O before search companies. The format is JSON, and I need to input my DueDil API key, just like I did in terminal. And I need to provide a JSON encoded request as per the documentation. So I can see here a request symbol. I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to keep this example pretty minimal, only search for companies with DueDil on their name in the UK. Hit send. Hopefully that will give us back a successful response. And you can see that the top search result here is DueDil Limited. From this point on, I can grab the country code and the company ID and make further requests to get further information. So for example, if I'm interested in finding shareholder information for this company, I can find the endpoint that supports that. It's a GET request. I'm going to copy the server URL. So that's company, country code, company ID, shareholders. So I'm going to make a new tab here with a new request. Company, country code, company ID, shareholders, .json with the same API key. Oh, my apologies. Company, shareholders ID. No problem copying that. Shareholders. Yeah, there you go. So that gives us back the complete reconstructed cap table for the DueDil company with all the shareholders, linked to directors if possible, and all their different share classes combined in an aggregate way. So that just gives you a flavor for the kind of information that you can retrieve. The best way to explore all the different endpoints is, again, to just browse through the DueDil API documentation.